Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about not idolizing relationships. I have my laptop right in front of me, so we're gonna get right into it. I do want to give you guys a quick disclaimer that I know this is going to be a very controversial topic or discussion. And I am not intending to show anybody or tell anybody how to live their life or be in a relationship. This is personally what has just helped me. And I know we all come from various backgrounds and adversities, and we are all of a different age. We all have different levels of wisdom. But yeah, I am creating this video in hopes of helping absolutely anyone who is open to hearing it with an open mind and open heart. So I pray and hope you guys take this with an open mind and heart. Of course, God bless you guys. So this is I have my notes here. I have a Google document just because I know I have a lot of things to say when it comes to stuff like this. I like to be somewhat in the right headspace when it comes to navigating through my relationship, just because I know I have gone through so much in my relationship that I've been in. It's going to be already going on 4 years that I've known this person, and I think we're um going on 3 years together as a couple. And we have broken up many times. We have overcome so many things. And this is what I have learned and what has helped me have a sane conscience, basically. So the first thing as to why you shouldn't idolize a relationship or a significant person or anything for the most part is because you lose yourself in the process of loving someone else. It becomes part of your personality and your identity. And you become hyper aware of their behaviors, like what are they doing, where are they, why haven't they texted me back, or why haven't they called me back. And it takes up so much time and energy that you can be using to pour into yourself. We have absolutely no control about what others do. People are going to do whatever they want all the time. You need to find that security in yourself and care less about what other people do and how they act towards you. You know, you cannot be full in life and whole by focusing on someone else other than yourself and God, obviously. The second thing, um, the second point as to why you shouldn't be idolizing a relationship is because you lose sight of your priorities and what fulfills you. And this can come in the sense of losing like relationships or connections with your family, your education, your career, your mental health, your hobbies, your fitness, and your spirit, because we're so invested into this thing or idea of a thing like a relationship that we lose track of everything else that is always happening in our lives. For example, I was having like a rough time maintaining a relationship with my family because I was always with my significant other. And in a way, it's like you got to be able to manage things in your life, especially if you're with someone, because ultimately, this person is not going to be your entire life. Like, if I marry this man, which I'm looking forward to. He's not going to become part of my identity. I still have my family. I still have my own friends. I still have my own goals and things that I want to accomplish for myself, like finish school, and I love to work out. That's a hobby of mine. I can't do that by being so obsessed with this other person. And that was a big thing for me, like being so hyper aware of what this other person was doing that I would get insecure and I would let all of these insecurities get the best of me. And instead of doing that, I should have like directed my focus onto myself, like working out and reading, doing things that fulfill my needs and my spirit, because a person is not going to be able to fulfill all your needs. That's very unrealistic, if that makes sense. But yeah, you stop pouring into yourself. And the last thing that I really want to point out to you guys, which is very important to me and hopefully to a lot of you guys, and this is what I mean when I say that it's going to be a very controversial topic, just because I'm personally not religious. I feel like religion is a social construct, and to each their own, of course. I'm not going against any religion whatsoever. I respect it, and I personally just refrain from any sort of religion. I feel like just having a relationship with God and knowing Him and going to ministry. I go to a church where we just learn about the Bible. There's no, they're not asking for money, they're not making you convert to anything. I personally grew up in a household where religion was really like fed into you, if that makes sense. And I was church hurt. There was a situation when I was young, maybe when I was like 12, where I was at church, and this church was very cult like, if that makes sense, where they had taken me into a room and they made me get down like on my knees and put my head down. And a pastor, I don't even remember what happened. I completely like blanked out because I was scared in a way. And that's another story, of course. But I um go to a Christian, a Christian church where we're followers of Christ. I don't even know if that is the correct um thing that my pastor says. He doesn't call us Christians. He says we're followers of Christ. But anyways, yeah, you lose sight of God, who is the only one who brings confidence, security, and hope. When you have full trust in God's plan, nothing or anybody can ever get in the way of that. The thing that people don't understand is that God created you. He knows everything about you. He knows what you're thinking. He knows what you're doing. He knows what you're going to say even before you know what you're going to say. He knows every single hair on your head. Best believe you know that He has a plan for you. And that does not mean that we are exempt from hard times. In most cases, we grow the most through hardships and tribulations, and they help us grow and bring resilience. When I was not strong in my faith, I let my hardships and tribulations get the best of me, and I began to lose faith and hope in myself, in my life, and absolutely everything. I felt like my world was seriously crumbling down. Um, there was this one point in my life where I felt like I hit rock bottom. I lost my job. I dropped out of school. I was on antidepressants. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And it was so hard. I was unable to maintain a healthy relationship. I was having really bad relationships with my family members, such as my mom or dad. It was not the best time in my life. And once I hit that point, I felt like I was unable to rely on myself because I wasn't able to control anything in my life. I had lost my job, I had dropped out of school. I just, yeah, I had absolutely no hope for anything, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to I wasn't going to be able to recover from that alone. Um, so that's when I had decided to give my life to Christ and get baptized and follow him, and ultimately have him be the sole provider of my life. But furthermore, tribulations and hardships help us grow and bring resilience. God says that you will have many tribulations, but this generates endurance, and endurance generates faith and strengthens faith. Tribulation and hardships produce perseverance, perseverance, character, and character produces hope. Like in James 1, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and perfect and complete and need nothing. You're always going to come out of whatever hole you're in. That's a part of life. You know, things are inevitable. People come in and out of your life all the time, and you have absolutely no control over that. Of course, unless you um, live under a rock, which is how I decided to live for quite a while. That was when I decided to like completely go ghost and pop off social media. I haven't been on social media for a few years already, and I love it. But I wasn't going out, I wasn't doing absolutely anything. I was like that for like 2 months, I think. I decided to just be alone and focus on like my mental health and what I'm gonna do. But anyways, I really love James 1 and that verse. I think it's verse 2 in my Bible, but it's it's absolutely amazing. Like when you have God and when you have security in him, you have confidence in yourself, and you ultimately don't need anything, and you just take life as it is by not attaching yourself to anything or anyone. You don't need anyone or anything to be fulfilled. You need to find that security in yourself, needing nothing. Um, and you see how idolizing someone can negatively affect your life. And don't get me wrong, relationships are amazing, but it should also be effortless and free to grow on its own. Obviously, if it's the right thing and according to God's will, and not being in the pursuit of making things happen yourself and feeling like you need to control the outcome of every situation. And that was one of my biggest issues too, being very controlling with my life and knowing that if I do A, B, C, and D, I'm going to get this. And if I do it in this order, then I will feel fulfilled or successful. And I was not being fulfilled at all. And ultimately, that just leads me to say that God has a plan for you. Everybody has like a destination, right? I don't know where my destination is. You might not know where your destination is, but you're going to get somewhere. You're not going to just, not have he does not just not have a plan for you. There's a reason why you were put on this earth, you know? I'm so sorry. But yeah, you don't need to control anything or anyone, and only find security in yourself. And the only way to get that is through the man above. You cannot control what anyone does. You should not be in this state of mind where you need to be so nosy and obsessed with a relationship, because then what if that relationship ends? What's next? You need to find fulfillment in yourself. Do things that make you happy, do things that are going to help you and your relationship. You guys, it's like in order for a relationship to grow, you guys both kind of have to have a personality of your own, and eventually you guys find balance. I'm very mellow, and I'm learning how to be slow to anger. which is something that I want to work on. But um, I'm very mellow and quiet, and I I don't know. I don't really know how to describe myself. I don't really want to come off as conceited or self-absorbed, if that makes sense. I'll let whoever meets me describe me the way they view me. But uh, ultimately, yeah, you got to pour into yourself before you pour into someone else. It's like, in order for something to be successful, two whole people gotta come together, not someone broken and someone needing to work in this aspect of their life and someone needing to work in another aspect of their life, if that makes sense. Like, two broken people cannot can just not work things out. um but anyways, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys got something from it. I know this was really short, and I know it's a very controversial topic, which may bring um, negative comments. But if you guys don't mind, I would just like you guys to not say anything negative. But I mean, like I said, to each their own. I can't control what people do. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys learned something, or found any of this information relatively important in your life. I know that I would have appreciated someone to tell me what I learned or had to learn the hard way. And I always tell myself that I would love to be that person that people never had, like the big sister you never had. Like, I would love to just go through things before you got to go through them. But obviously people learn on their own time, and that's why I had to throw that disclaimer out, because people come with so many levels of wisdoms, and I still have a lot to grow. A lot to grow. Right now I'm reading Proverbs and Proverbs 31 and how to become a Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm learning how to be more understanding and happy and faithful and unproblematic, confident, secure, soft-spoken, someone wise, hopeful, optimistic, someone who knows how to emotionally regulate. That is something that I need to work on, because sometimes when it's that time of the month, I have a hard time regulating my emotions, but I'm human. We're all human. So, that and having better communication skills, so many stuff. Um, and yeah, that's why I try to read my Bible as much as I can, because I find so much peace and security in the Lord. And I thought that was a really big point to show you guys, just because He's so good. And I know that He can be so good to your guys' lives as well. So just a little rerun why this is not the best move to idolize relationships and people, because you can lose yourself in the process of loving someone else. You lose sight of your priorities, and you lose sight of God. Um, so we're gonna end it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I totally freak out when I get a single view on my YouTube channel, which is, I'm fangirling over you guys. Like, I watch, like, my little YouTube studio, and it says like, "Oh, someone watched your video," or "You got one more view," and I'm like, "Oh, super cool." But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something here. If you guys have any other points or ideas, let me know down in the comments below. And God bless you guys.